For all the examples we've seen, him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on investments on multiple properties, him buying a lot of depreciating assets, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Some people will say, you know, he's suing now because of his gambling habits, which was not hidden. It was not a secret. He would post, not Teddy Atlas talking about anything that wasn't out there. He would post some of his tickets, his betting tickets that he bet, and they were large bets. And so some people say, oh yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever.
Once celebrated as one of the richest men in sports, Floyd Mayweather now finds himself facing a steep fall. The boxing world shows visible grief as well as anger as legal troubles close in. He may also get sued by Manny Pacquiao over his recent comments regarding the fight.
Sick people, and I call them sick, I'm not afraid to say what I feel, that's in their underwear in grandmother's basement or wherever the frick they are, taking pot shot at people because of their misery, because of their misfortune, because they're in a bad place. Shame on you. And shame on the people out there. I know that there's some of them, everyone knows I don't really read that internet unless somebody shows me specifically some stuff, and I saw some of the stuff. I didn't want to see any more, so I told them, don't show me anymore. But I saw enough to see what was out there. People taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing.
Reports revealed that Mayweather's vast wealth may be overstated, pointing to liens, foreclosures, debts, and leveraged assets like property and a private jet, with creditors reportedly pursuing him over unpaid jet fuel. Moreover, Mayweather sparked controversy with comments on the Manny Pacquiao fight, insisting it is an exhibition despite taking a professional fight advance, putting him in potential breach of contract.
End of Fundora and Thurman. Apparently he did an interview, said that it was an exhibition, that these guys didn't have anything to prove, that their legends were already set in stone, and that it would be an exhibition. He wasn't sure if it was going to be at the Sphere. Apparently, that is not true. According to a Boxing Scene article that interviewed Jazz Mathur, the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, said that, yes, the fight is contracted for the Sphere, booked at the Sphere, scheduled at the Sphere for September 19th. It is booked as a professional fight, not as an exhibition. It was never booked as an exhibition, which makes sense because Netflix got behind it, and I would assume that they would not want an exhibition. We said the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, we said that this fight has to be a real fight and not an exhibition because, one, Netflix is involved, two, Manny Pacquiao wants that get back, and two, also just betting.
Mike Carpenter exposed Floyd Mayweather's controversial comments, saying Mayweather's comments also directly contradicted Netflix's official announcement and he would be in breach of contract if he insists on shifting it to an exhibition. Wade Plemons says that after taking signing and advanced payments for a professional fight, Floyd calling it an exhibition shows he is trying to scam Netflix and Manny's team. Floyd previously did the scam.
Because you got one person saying, it's a real fight. You got the promotion saying, this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here. Because we then get the report, as of yesterday, that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like...
Teddy Atlas says it is really sad, explaining that sometimes athletes lack the right people to manage their finances. And that is exactly what happened in Floyd Mayweather's case.
They risk everything. They risk so much. And then everything they took the risk for sometimes is lost. Whether it was Joe Louis, whoever. It never becomes not sad or unfortunate to hear. Never. It's look, you could say it's their responsibility. It is. It is. You got to know what's going on. But there are also sharks in this business, in any business. And sometimes these athletes, I won't even specify fighters. We're talking about fighters. But you hear it in football, Bud. You were around it. You hear it in basketball. Sometimes these athletes, they don't have the right people around them to look out for them. You know, to properly educate them, to properly advise them. Hey.
Jonah Reinitz is a controversial businessman and close associate of Floyd Mayweather Jr., often described as a key figure in managing Mayweather's post-boxing business and real estate investments. Fight Opinion on X states, Manny Pacquiao's team is threatening litigation against Floyd Mayweather over the Sphere fight on Netflix. That is not the only lawsuit threat against Floyd or his top associate Jonah Reinitz. Jonah was supposed to go to prison. Now there is a new twist. Manny says it is a real fight and he will not participate in an exhibition. Floyd has signed a contract, so he must fight professionally as Manny insists on a legitimate sanctioned bout.
Is that what he's feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure?
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight, okay. Yeah, because I know he said...
I want to fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
The Sphere still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed. I mean,
Okay, so it's still happening then?
he has to remember.
Joe Rogan highlights that Floyd Mayweather spent over a decade as arguably boxing's biggest American star. He beat Manny Pacquiao in the richest fight at the time, showcasing superb defense, quick hands, and the money-made persona that fueled his stardom and wealth.
Floyd to Money Mayweather. Changed the whole thing.
He knew what he was doing.
He definitely did. It would have been an interesting fight had he fought Pacquiao when he was younger, in his prime. It would have been a very different fight.
Would have been a more interesting fight.
Much more different.
Because
more difficult
any
fight.
go-forward physical warrior like Pacquiao is going to wear down.
Right, exactly.
And any brilliant counterpuncher like Floyd is going to retain more.
Yeah.
So he did.
Yeah, it would have been much more interesting when they were younger. Also, the fact that Pacquiao fought him with a bum shoulder. That was a disaster, too.
Money talks.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess he was faced with this thing, legacy, or, I mean, it was the biggest pay-per-view of all time in boxing, correct?
I believe so.
I believe so, and I think it was like 4 million buys or something crazy like that.
It was huge.
So, like,
Floyd Mayweather has always flaunted his wealth, spending extravagantly on luxury watches, flashy cars, and signing enormous checks as if the money meant nothing. He constantly showcased his wealth, acting untouchable and unconcerned with financial consequences. Yet now he has filed a lawsuit against his former broadcast partner, Showtime, and its ex-president, Steven Espinoza, claiming he is owed millions. This lawsuit highlights the contrast between his public persona of endless wealth and the complex financial disputes behind the scenes, showing that even someone as wealthy and celebrated as Mayweather faces challenges when money, contracts, and obligations collide.
18 mil retired. I know some people gonna be like, well, you said I didn't want to say I was active, because that's normal. You said I wasn't activated. I knew what I said, so a lot of times I'm like, oh, you didn't say it right. I know I said it right. I knew what I said. I knew what I posted.
I don't really care how much you make, bro. I feel like writing an $18 million check has to feel some sort of weight.
That's crazy.
I didn't want to do it. Of course, I'm like, who wants to give up basically 20 million?
You wrote 18,180,000,000.00. Like, bro, that's crazy.
You know, I got huge deals on the table, so I'm always making Jay,
What's the biggest thing you got working right now?
I can show this. Come here. So come here. So
Dude, what is it?
this one. Okay. So this one right here.
That's crazy.
I just keep stuff on the.
Yeah, my math don't work like that. My math.
50 Cent has said that people dislike Floyd Mayweather because of his money-focused fights and his attitude constantly talking about wealth. Fans have always wanted to see Mayweather fail. Yet Floyd has used this animosity to his advantage. Despite the hate, it fuels pay-per-view sales and brings in massive earnings, turning public resentment into profit. His ability to leverage both admiration and disdain has made him one of boxing's most financially successful and notorious figures, proving that even criticism can be monetized when combined with skill, confidence, and a money-made persona that defines his career.
He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, "What a prize fighter fight for?" And I'm like, and he said, "The prize." So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that.
Max Kellerman explains that fighters like Floyd Mayweather who spend excessively and fail to make wise investments often encounter serious financial problems after their prime. He emphasizes that even athletes who earn enormous sums can struggle later if they do not manage money carefully. Kellerman points out that overspending without planning for the future creates unavoidable challenges once one's earning potential declines. He uses Floyd as an example, showing how a lack of financial foresight can lead to legal disputes, debt, and the need to return to the ring. Careful money management is crucial for long-term stability, even for top-earning athletes.
With the 3 fights that's coming up, Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, I think the guy's from Greece or something like that. What do you feel about great champions doing these kind of fights as well, or just these kind of fights that's going on?
You need money.
Damn.
Yeah, when you need money. This is the problem with boxing. You think about financial literacy, right? And you talk about like NFL players or NBA players. There's support systems for those dudes. There's nothing like that for fighters. They got to figure it out all themselves. And if you're a fighter, that means you did not have options.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like basketball or football. If you could, like, by the way, football players couldn't play basketball or they play basketball. It's a better deal, right? That's if you can, you do. And boxers couldn't do either one of those things, right? They're too small or they got hurt, whatever it is. And so you're dealing with a section of.
Max Kellerman criticizes Floyd Mayweather for mismanaging his wealth, highlighting his excessive spending on luxury cars, watches, and gambling. He points out that flaunting money without planning leads to financial instability. Kellerman acknowledges that many athletes face similar issues, retiring with little left despite earning millions. He stresses that even top earners must manage finances wisely, as indulgence and impulsive purchases can quickly erode fortunes. Floyd's habits serve as a cautionary tale, showing that constant extravagance and neglecting investments create long-term problems, forcing even legendary athletes to confront money challenges later in life.
Or kind of structure in place to help them at all. And so what usually happens with almost every fighter who ever lived, not everyone, but most of them, is they wind up going broke at a certain point, right? First of all, taxes, child support, all that kind of stuff, that promoters, this and that, and then just the way you spend your money. Could be bad investments. You could try to do the right thing and wind up with bad investments. You could just spend too much. And the thing is, if you're not the best in the world anymore, but you're one of, let's say, the 50 best in the world at what you do in your weight class, still hard to tell that dude, you can make $100 million. No, don't do that because you're old.
Right.
Why would he?
Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Legacy Round and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.